The economic crisis also means that demand for food stamps will swell. While Congress did pass additional benefits for some recipients, a high percentage of the poorest households did not get an increase. Questions over additional money will undoubtedly be debated in Congress in weeks to come. But many people are already facing complications when using their benefits right now. Economics correspondent Paul Solman has the story for our series, Making Sense.
A mile-long line at a Pittsburgh food bank, and it's hardly unique. Dave Wellens manages a food warehouse in El Paso, Texas.
Usually by 8 o'clock in the morning, there's vehicles lined up a mile to a mile and a half long.
Michael Lopez is in New York.
There's a tremendous need. Typically, the Hungry Monk Rescue Truck serves about 200 meals a week in our food pantry. Over the past 35 days, that number has grown to closer to 2,000 families that we're serving.
You know, I don't have any income coming in. I don't get any food stamps. It's just hard to get, any help right now.
Nashville's Brooklyn Dotson doesn't get food stamps, not yet anyway, but nearly 40 million Americans do, as so-called SNAP benefits. No one is starving, says Hunger Free America's Joel Berg, but
they're rationing food. If this goes on much, much longer, then we could start to see actual starvation in America. We're doing far much worse than any developed Western nation.
Economist Hillary Hoynes.
Prior to the crisis, about 11% of Americans suffered from food insecurity, and we have every reason to believe that those statistics are increasing dramatically in the current time period.
I'm Natasha McCray, and I live in the Bronx, the nation's hungriest urban county. This is my daughter Ariana and my son Ethan.
3 years ago, McCray was struggling, even with SNAP.
What's this?
But the pandemic has her kids, now 4 and 16, home from school, where they got their morning and afternoon meals. Suddenly, says McCray,
you gotta have breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and with them both being hung, everybody's hungry all the time.
McCray gets about $550 a month for her family of 3, but her income as a tutor to low-income kids has plummeted. So how about free food? She was using New York City's grab-and-go school meal program, which expanded to adults on April 3rd.
And then shortly between week 3 and 4, when I went to pick up a breakfast or a lunch or two, there weren't any more breakfast or lunch available.
Joel Berg isn't surprised.
Even in the best of times, the charitable sector only handles a small portion of the need. The federal nutrition assistance programs still provide more than 10 times the dollar amount.
But for those like McCray already getting maximum SNAP benefits before the pandemic,
you have to wear a face mask.
The assistance hasn't gone up, while prices have.
You can see hamburgers, $18.99, $31.99.
At least they have in her food desert stretch of the Bronx.
When the pandemic first started, they were gouging prices. I mean, the cost of eggs was around $8. Milk was $7. Over the past 5 weeks, it has been a nightmare.
And the crisis has caused lots of SNAP snafus. Quincy Pettis is home from college, so he isn't getting meals there, but he can't get SNAP either.
I applied, but they denied me because they were saying that I would have to work 20 hours.
Your pizza stays untouched from here to your table.
He got a job at Domino's Pizza, even though he's taking 21 class credits online, and still no food stamps.
I would have to go and have my own apartment, but I am currently living at my parents' house.
So because you're living at your parents' house as opposed to having your own apartment, you're not eligible for SNAP?
Yes, sir, correct.
Did you get a stimulus check?
No, I did not get a stimulus check.
Because he's in college. The rules are a problem for millions of students right now, says Ken Riegel of Just Harvest.
College student can't get food stamps at school, can't get food stamps at home. The parent can't get food stamps for the child in their household. Parent can't get the stimulus payment for the child, and the college student, can't get stimulus payment of their own. So it's a quintuple whammy.
Are you hungry at all?
Yes, I am hungry.
Another SNAP snafu, online shopping. Elisa Grishman, a Pittsburgh disability rights advocate, has 6 autoimmune diseases.
The main ones that affect me are multiple sclerosis and Crohn's disease, but I also have forms of arthritis. I have diabetes from steroids for my other conditions, and so it's extremely dangerous for me to go out. I haven't left my house in a month and a half. If I get sick, I'm going to get very sick.
So if you can't go out, can't you just shop online?
Unfortunately, no. Pennsylvania doesn't allow you to use your food stamps to order online delivery of any sort of groceries. I also can't use it to do a pickup order and have someone pick it up either.
In fact, only 6 states do allow it under strict conditions.
So this is a huge problem for large numbers of people who are immunocompromised, people who have disabilities, people who have difficulty getting around, people whose buses have been cut.
Tens of millions of Americans are food insecure right now. Doesn't bode well for them or the economy, says Joel Berg emphatically.
Even before this crisis, food insecurity cost our economy over $160 billion a year because hungry children don't learn as well, hungry workers don't work as well, and hungry seniors can't stay independent.
And all of their numbers are growing. This is Paul Salmon.